And welcome back for another System Summit live presentation. I am Stan Shields, and I'm here today with my co-host, Miss Kimya Scott, and one of our speakers, Miss Thea Irby. How are you ladies doing this morning?
Wonderful.
Fabulous.
Wonderful and fabulous. Can't get any better than that.
That's right.
So just to give you a quick little update of who we are and what we are doing, this is Systems Summits Live, and this is just really a show that we do leading up to our Systems Summit, virtual summits, to really share with you a little bit of who the speakers are and what the summit is all about, what we're going to be talking about, we're going to be doing. So this summit is going to start on October 27th and 28th. And so if you have not registered for the summit yet, now is a great time to do it. I've got Kimya Scott's information scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Let me hide it for a second. Right down here at the bottom, it tells you free registration. But look up at the top and you will see systemssummits.com. And that's where you go to register. And we have Dr. Victoria Boyd, who is the host of systemssummits.com. So Dr. Boyd, tell them a little bit about how Systems Summits, maybe even how you came up with this idea of doing these virtual summits in the first place, and any opening info you'd like to share with them right at this moment.
Absolutely. System Summit evolved from the need to go viral, not viral, but virtual. I had been looking at doing a virtual conference through the Philanthropreneur Foundation for years, had done a lot of research. And then the pandemic hit. We didn't have a choice. We run a training center. And so since I had been exploring it, I came up with the idea of System Summit, because even if you're a nonprofit, a for-profit, small businesses, entrepreneurs, consultants, coaches, speakers, all of you need systems to run your business. And it was a universal topic. And so we launched last October. So we're actually celebrating our 1-year anniversary. Yay! And we provide industry experts, a platform for industry experts to support those small business owners to become more productive and profitable. And I'm just excited about the speakers that have come on board. And what can I say? October 27th and 28th. It's been driving me crazy, but I'm here.
All big events drive the host crazy because there's a lot of work that goes into it. There's so much energy, effort, and just
and you can see I'm freezing.
So, yeah, I've got my sweater on this morning too because I'm chilly, right? So it's that's how it is. So great. Let's have Kimya just introduce herself real quick here, and then we're going to have Dia. I don't know why I'm struggling with Dia versus D and all of that stuff. Because I've been saying Dia all along, and then all of a sudden I started struggling with it. What's up with that? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, Kimya, tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do.
Hello, everyone, and I am Ms. Kimya, and I am a digital marketing strategist and social media manager for small businesses. And janky marketing systems and put them all together in an integrated plan so that you can move forward more productively and, as Dr. Boyd said, profitably with your marketing strategies to grow and scale your business.
Fantastic. Figuring out how to work the buttons back here, right? Fantastic. I am Stan Shields, Marketing Automation Solutions. So Kimya helps you with getting your marketing strategy and helping you from a social media standpoint and so forth. I actually tie the systems together. I actually do the pieces that make the systems talk to each other, make the systems help support you so that you aren't doing all the little tasks that have to be done. We want to automate as much of that as we can. And that's one of the reasons I loved the whole System Summit concept, is because it literally spoke to what I do and really what I've been doing for a lot of years, all the way back from running my martial arts business and all of that and putting systems in place to do it, to now helping other small business owners with their systems. And with that, Dr. Boyd, introduce Dia.
Absolutely. Dia is one of our speakers and presenters, and she is coming with a unique approach to your business. Um, she's worked with one of my longtime friends, Al Jensen, and he is a phenomenal speaking coach. And you know what? I'm not going to go. I don't want to give too much because I've seen her presentation. I have a tendency to give too many hints away.
Yeah, don't be talking too much now.
Yes. So I'm going to throw it over to Dia and just let her tell us a little bit about her background, not the presentation, about her background.
My background, it's varied. I have reinvented myself almost every decade. A lot of the beginning of my life was having the privilege of being a stay-at-home mom. And we have recently, our last one graduated from college, and we are officially empty nesters. And it took 45 years. Because we have 8 children born over 3 decades. So that was part of that's where I learned about dealing with people and community and belonging. And I have also had a period about a decade where I opened and ran my own restaurant in the North Georgia mountains. I had a little tea room and published a cookbook from that because people said, "You're moving and you're closing, and how can we get your Greek egg salad?" I said, "Buy my cookbook." So
Absolutely.
and now I am a real estate agent in North Carolina.
Okay. Everything. But what I really like, your topic talks about business culture.
Yes.
Which I'm not going to give too many hints away, but it goes and uses what you call that 5-faceted claim. That's why claim is up on the wall behind you.
That's it.
But many of us get so immersed in looking at systems and just all of the operational things that have to be implemented in a business. You're now looking at you, the leader. How are you building and that culture so people will first want to work with you, but they'll be clamoring to stay loyal to you and stay with you. So that's a hint of what you're talking about. Just give us what the acronym CLAIM stands for.
Sure. It works in business and it also works in families and in relationships, but claim because people don't just want to be connected. They want to be claimed. They want to really belong. Like where everybody knows your name, like the TV show Cheers.
Cheers.
No, where everybody knows your name. The C stands for chosen. People want to know that they were selected to be in their position. L is for loved. Secure environment, no judgment. A is for acknowledged. And I could talk a lot about that, but you'll have to watch my talk. The I is for invested in. And there are a lot of ways that you can invest in people without spending money. And M is people want to know that they're made for greatness. And really it boils down to they want to know they matter. And if you can help them understand the why of what they're doing or their contribution and how it is going to make a difference in the world, then that is the M. So it's chosen, loved, acknowledged, invested in, and made for greatness.
Absolutely. Fantastic. I know all this back end stuff. I didn't want to just blurt it out, and it's better coming from her because it sounds so much better. But we have some fantastic presenters. And just to highlight a couple of the other presentations, we already heard from Stan and Kimya, but the speakers are really covering the full spectrum of what your business might be looking for, from marketing to, I love the one we're going to have what is called an assessment calculator, and that's being presented by Cecilia JJ. And I've been saying her name wrong too. But in her presentation, she talks about really managing documents, but how, if you don't have them organized, you waste so much time. And so she's providing this calculator that you can assess how much time are you really wasting in your business. And another one of the great presentations is time management. Just it's a myth that you don't have any time. That's just not true. And that's being presented by Francois Lupin, and he's from Canada. In fact, Cecilia is also from Canada. So we have international speakers. But I really encourage, if you want to see the entire schedule with the description of all the presentations, go to systemsummit.com/schedule. And you will see the entire schedule with all the presentations. Just check that out. It will get you excited about what is coming up in the summit. That's all I got to say about that.
So I want to talk to Dia for a second here about CLAIM, and I like to always hear the backstory. How did you come up with that acronym? What was the impetus? What was it that inspired that?
It was the idea that people don't just want to be connected. They want to be claimed. And then as I considered the word claim, I love doing acronyms because it gives me a handle to hold on to a concept. So as I considered that and looked at my experience, and I'm in real estate, like I said, with Keller Williams, and they are so big about culture. There's so many things about the Keller Williams culture that as a business, they are able to have people come and stay and not want to leave and bring other people. We're unrecruitable out of our Keller Williams. So just considering it, as I looked at the different facets, it just came together. Actually, as I was sitting in church during worship, actually, and I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, that's what it is. So it fit. I don't know how else, what more backstory to tell you.
No, that's good. That's good.
It is. It just came together, and it covers all the aspects of building community, because people really want to belong somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, deep down, that's why we have gangs, because they can't find anywhere else to belong.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
and Kimya can speak even more to that whole sense of community thing even more. I mean, because that's, part of what she sees and does, and maybe even helps coaches with regard to, you got to create your tribe, right?
Yeah.
And that having something that people can then hang on to and be a part of and participate in, that makes a gigantic difference there.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. And I had a question, because claim can be applied in different facets, from leadership to your business to your personal life. Who should watch your presentation?
Well, it's focused on business people, because that's the theme of it. But the concepts would work for anyone who has a relationship with another human being. Actually, if you go to my website, I've created some ebooks implementing the claim concept in the home or in a marriage or in a church. And And then for those that upgrade to the
I'll
packet,
add, yeah.
yes, they will be able to get a full ebook on claim in the business website, in the business world.
Okay.
So anybody that you just have to translate it. I have given other um, presentations that, like for parents, parenting, having this as a theme to work through, because I parented for 45 years. So
Okay.
That's another whole story all in
Yes.
itself.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
and
That's another show. Yeah.
being a good grandmother, I have to brag that I have 18 grandchildren,
holy moly.
beautiful and talented.
All
Okay.
right.
Holy moly.
And
Anyway,
and part of why I was asking who should watch it is because you have different levels of business owners. So it makes total sense and is immediately visible if you have staff with leadership. If you are a solopreneur, why would I watch your presentation?
because if you have clients,
Hmm.
they need to feel claimed.
Yeah.
Anybody you're in business with, your customers. I was just on the phone before this calling one of my real estate past clients. I mean, once you connect with me, you're part of my tribe.
Hmm.
And I called, not because do you want to buy or sell a house, although I do ask if they know anybody, but how are you doing? I care about you. I am claiming you as my tribe. I am connected with you. I want to acknowledge what's going on in your life. And I've invested my time to listen to what's going on and encourage her as she is a solopreneur starting a business.
Yeah.
So well, no man is an island. So anybody that's doing business with another person, this will help. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and there's
Mhm.
there's another actual research-based reason why tribes, community, all these words that we're using is very, very important right now. We are in the middle of what is called a we marketing trend. Every 40 years, this pendulum swings back and forth. Back in the early or mid 90s, late 80s, it was all about women power, us, me, just it was a me society. In 2003, we swung into this we society. 2003 is also when Facebook was launched, and its whole foundation is based on building community. Now, there was MySpace before that, and it didn't take off so much. But when that pendulum swung to being a we community, a we society, where it was all about serving and giving back, that is why Facebook at that point was able to catch the attention of society. And so everything we do now, society, customers, they want to see, what is the community looking like? How can I be a part of a community? How can I be a part of this tribe? Because that is what they need. And so even building your marketing strategies off of that platform is where we all as business owners need to be right now. Just a little tidbit of, because it comes up in cause marketing. I'm presenting on cause marketing. That's right. I never said what I was presenting on, but I'm doing, because I represent the philanthropreneur, philanthropy and entrepreneur. The two work together. My topic is cause marketing and how to implement that. So all of this is tying together in terms of what business owners need to look at beyond just their automation, just their systems, just their marketing, but what is the message behind all of that?
And don't forget that you're dealing with people.
Yeah.
People.
Absolutely.
Your peeps.
So, Stan, you're muted.
First time
The phrase of 2020 and 2021, you're muted. Wow. Yeah, I was trying to eliminate the background noise I had here. So then I forgot to unmute myself. Bummer. And now I've totally forgotten what I started saying. That's old age or something. I don't know what all that is. At any rate, Dia, what day is your presentation?
It is Wednesday. I believe it is
Let me see if I can
one
pull that up.
o'clock my time. I'm
Where are
It's
you?
almost noon here in North Carolina.
North
Okay,
Carolina.
so if you
North
want,
Carolina.
it's like at 11 or so. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. So if anybody that's watching, make sure that you go get registered for System Summit,
Yeah,
and
it's at
then
10 a.m.
there you go. So
Yeah.
as Dr. Boyd said earlier,
One.
you can find the system. You can find the schedule at systemsummits.com/schedule. That makes it really super easy, right? But just put it on your calendar to make sure you can go and watch Dia's presentation. And so that's pretty cool. Now I'm curious though. See, I go back into all like other the why piece, I guess. And that is you've talked about real estate and you've talked about recipes. Okay. How did you go from recipes and cooking to real estate to now doing this stuff?
Like I said, I reinvent myself about every decade. No. Um, well,
And that's kind of cool. But I mean, number one, that's a
that my husband was going to retire and we were going to be empty nesters. What can I do? Everybody said, you should go into real estate. I'm like, okay. I'll book people. And real estate is helping people reach their goals. It is helping them get the most equity out of their home, selling their house where they've created many dreams or had many dreams, and helping a buyer find the home of their dreams. And that is challenging in the market today when you have to strategize and beat out 15 other offers. And make yours the one that they want to choose. So that's challenging, which is why I prefer to be the seller, the listing agent.
Yeah, that's
everybody fights over you.
That's right. That's right. That's the better spot to be in.
And
so if you know anybody, I have agents in my company I can refer you to anywhere in the world.
Absolutely. But you mentioned a great thing because you're selling homes, and one of our presenters, Tierra Bond, she was actually supposed to be on today. She deals with credit, whether it's business credit or personal credit, which has a great alignment. If you need to buy a house, you have to have good credit. But also many business owners don't think about the value or why they need to build business credit, which is separate from personal credit. And she's going to be doing a deep dive into what it is and why you need it. And then I love the title of her second session, Using Other People's Money to Fund Your Business. So
that is the key.
Yeah, this is a shout out to Tierra Bond. She is another impact sponsor, and she is taking charge credit counseling. But her sessions, again, it's looking at some of those things that you just push to the side because you're too busy doing other stuff. But there are things that you need to actually implement or at least have in mind. And business credit and funding is one of those big topics. We get a lot of questions about how do I get funding? How do I get grants? How do I get loans? And bottom line is your business credit. So I keep thinking of all these little tidbits I need to throw out there. Just go look at the schedule.
Yeah, go check it out. Yeah,
and I have a question for you, Dia. When I look at the schedule and figure out what presentations I need to watch, I always think about the pre-work that needs to be done, because if I just turn on a presentation and my mind is not focused on that topic or I haven't done any pre-work, the value is greatly diminished because my mindset is not there. And so my question for you is, what should we be thinking about before we watch a presentation, or what's like a burning question that we should have answered, or what kind of pre-work can we do in order to really position our mindsets to receive the claim and the content that you're sharing, and then the subsequent follow-up information. But what should we be thinking about or looking at in our business that would help us to really digest what you're talking about in your presentation?
Wow, that's a question. I think, well, if you have wondered how to build a fire under your people without burning them,
Hmm.
or how to keep them, the good people, sometimes you have to have that hard conversation. I don't want to deny you the opportunity to use your real gifts somewhere else,
Hmm.
which is a better way to say than you're fired.
Yes.
But how do you keep them without shackles?
Hmm.
So having in your mind what is it that you're doing, or be ready to consider the culture that you're building, because everybody has a culture.
Hmm.
Every business has a culture. It's kind of the personality of the business,
Hmm.
and how you relate, what is your tagline, all of that, the colors, everything kind of gives your culture and your personality. Be thinking how receptive it is, how inclusive it is, how endearing your culture is, and be ready to come with an open mind to analyze it, to see if there are ways you can tweak it.
Okay.
Mhm.
That makes sense. That
Okay.
really does make sense.
Well, and I'll tell you that is that touches on something that I did. I remember it was back in 2002 when I bought a martial arts business, and as I was really thinking about what do we want to be known as with this martial arts
Hmm.
business, and the thing that I took forward from my instructor and his martial arts school was that it was the family environment. When you walked in, you felt like you were with family because everybody connected, not just in the studio, but we connected in other events outside of the studio at each other's homes and all of that. And what I did was I said, you know what? That's the number one thing I want people to think about when they think about our school. I want them to think this is family, right? It's our family. It's a family environment. And we had everything from programs from kids all the way through adults. I mean, my youngest was 3, oldest was 74. And so we had the gamut, right? But the underlying feel when you walked through the doors or talked with any of my instructors or anyone was, yeah, this is a family environment. We're here for the family, right? And so, but that was a conscious decision going in. So everything that I did literally evolved around that, right? And we then developed some other core values along the way that we then kind of added to the whole thing. But so I love what you just said, because that was a conscious decision. That was a thought that was in place going into the whole thing.
Perfect. Awesome. Good job.
It
I acknowledge your accomplishments.
was cool. Yeah. And the good news is
Yeah.
today, if you talk to any of the instructors and whatnot, in fact, one guy, I remember saying that somewhere, and one of my instructors, he goes, well, you accomplished that. You might not have accomplished some other things, but you
Hmm.
accomplished that. So,
Yeah.
all right, we are running out of time here. In fact, we are out of time. And so we need to really wrap this up. Any last words? Dia, we'll give you first crack. Any last words you want to say as we close out the program for today?
First of all, thank you so much for the privilege and the opportunity. I can't wait, and I want to see you there.
That's right.
Sign up
Awesome.
now.
That's right. Sign up. How about you, Kimya? Any final things?
That was it. Go to systemsummits.com and register
Systemsummit.com. Point
now,
up. There you go.
and register now before you get sidetracked and too busy thinking you'll come back to it and you
Right.
will miss the whole thing. So
That's
if you're
right.
watching this now, take the 2 minutes, go to systemsummits.com and register.
That's right. Good. And Dr. Boyd, any final words?
You know what? I think that sums it up. Register now. Early bird ends in 5 days on Tuesday. So if you want to get that all access pass, come on, $27
For only
for
$27.
$4,200 worth of bonuses. I mean, so go register now so you can find out more about it.
And a bunch of amazing presentations. So there's just going to be such great info that it's ridiculous. So it's so much good stuff. So, all right, guys, that is it for today. Thank everybody for joining us. Thank you, Dia, for showing up and participating and hanging out with us. And I am going to find my outro thing. I'm like stalling so that I can go get to it here. Here we go. Ready? All right, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Bye.